Well, we're back again. This is another winning moment. I have one of my mentors here, a gentleman that really I grew up in the industry watching him win and win again, and I've learned an enormous amount from him. Mr. Edwin Haynes, multi-millionaire in the industry, in the profession of network marketing, has organizations in hundreds of thousands probably by now, and all over the world. And so we're here in this beautiful home, yes, sharing a winning moment. And Edwin, has it always been this fruitful? From the time you started, was it just like you just had instant success?
Nope, nope, Ramon. I tell you what, it was not an instant success for me. It took a lot for me to get to this point. I just, now it's been 14 years full time for me in the industry, wow, thereabout. And in the first half of that, it was a lot of me just learning the industry, learning myself, realizing that I didn't know it all. I had success in traditional business, but a lot of people think they can translate their success from traditional business into success in network marketing or direct sales or what have you. And it don't necessarily play out that way. And so people have to, that's why a lot of people stay away from the industry too. They don't make it because they don't want to accept that they don't have those skills necessary to lead a volunteer army. And it takes a strong person to go and learn those skills and realize and admit that, hey, I don't know it all. Let me go out and learn some new stuff so I can go and build a big business within this industry. And most people are not willing to go through that process.
Wow. So you had success in the industry, been in the industry now 14 years.
Yes.
Were there any setbacks? Were there any transitional periods that you had to go through?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, many setbacks. Well, just in the beginning, I didn't know what I was doing, so I burned through a lot of people. I was saying the wrong things to the wrong people. For me, I was a person that was very reserved. I didn't go out. I didn't like talking to people type of thing. I was always to myself. So, they always, you all used to say I wouldn't lead silent prayer in church. That was the thing about me. So I had to go in and learn some things and feel comfortable with myself. I had to be able to extend my hand out and then meet a new friend. And I didn't go out to sponsor people. I just met people and developed a relationship with them. And from burning through all those people and then learning the right skill in terms of interacting with people, that is what was one of the key factors of me changing my life in the industry and start seeing some success because I knew how to relate to people. And in this industry, it's all about people.
Wow. So you were a quiet person, wasn't necessarily an extrovert, not going out and meeting people. Walk people through that, because there were some things that you did daily, I'm sure,
oh, yeah,
that aided to you getting to where you are now, to where now you're a magnet for people. I mean,
yeah,
you've got organizations in other countries.
Absolutely.
People are flying in to see you.
Absolutely.
Seven-figure earners are flying in to get your wisdom and your knowledge.
Yes.
So if you could, what were you doing daily to help you get to it?
Well, there's a lot of things that I picked up too. One of the things that some of the things that you have to learn, just a few things here. I had to learn to master money because I wasn't great at money. Then I knew I said not great, but I could have done better with money. And I knew I would have to eventually advise people on money. But one of the bigger things that I had to do is learn people skills, like I was talking about before.
Right.
And then I also had to learn that the highest paid profession is leadership.
Wow.
So I worked on my leadership skills daily, and I continue to do that right now. And that way I was able to, because I knew and understood people more, because there were different personalities, I had to understand that it wasn't just my speed, it was multiple speeds of people out there. But also I had to know how to properly lead them. But number one, I had to learn how to lead myself. So that's why the book, Developing the Leader Within You is a good book, and Developing the Leaders out around you is a great book too that I read. And so many different things that I did, from the listening about leadership to the reading about leadership. I honed those skills. I work on that every single day, still today, to work on and read different books about how major corporations are being led. And if you notice, even in coaching or in sports, when something goes wrong, they don't necessarily just cut the players right away. If it's not going right, they cut the coach. Then they come back and get the right coach, then they put the right players. That's typically where it goes, because everything rises and falls on leadership. So if you're displaying the proper leadership skills, people will come to you and they will want to follow you.
Wow.
So those are some things that you have to work on.
And lastly, um, would you say that winning is a choice? Would you say that it's something that people have to choose daily? And if so, what are certain things that you've done daily that have gotten you where you are today?
Well, absolute winning is a choice. You're a professional on that, man, and congratulations on what you've done. But that's your philosophy, and I agree totally. Winning is a choice. You can choose to lose. I can sit here and do nothing on this couch right now, and do nothing. That's an easy choice. But I decided to get up off of this couch so I could go buy me multiple couches. So in other words, I wanted to go out there and win big. I wanted to have more in life. And that's going to require some work. And we always say if it is to be, it's up to me. I couldn't wait on somebody or, praying is one thing, but, it takes action behind a prayer. And so I had to go out and put the action behind all the things that I have been praying for. So many people are praying for stuff, but they won't go out there and do things. They're not willing to change. And then when the answer comes, they're not willing to accept the answer because it's not on their terms. Wow. And so the answer may not be on your terms. You're going to have to go out there and take and deal with the hand that's been dealt to you and make that hand work. I was watching a thing on Rick Warren, Pastor Rick Warren, and he talked about he was doing the thing on the bit of dealing with the hands that you dealt. Right. And even great poker players know how to go out and make something out of nothing. And so I liken that to the game of life. Whatever you have is good enough. Wow. You just have to go out there and take the hand that you dealt and make something out of it, just like a good poker player. And that's the same thing that happens in life. So I tell a person, take what you have, get with the right people, work on your leadership skills, pay attention to people's skills. Don't think it's just you. What's in it for them? Talking to another person here recently. Actually, I've been talking to so many from world leaders, pastors, or whatever. But there's another guy happened to be a pastor I was talking to, and he was talking to one of the bigger gentlemen that's out there. And he was this guy in terms of his coach in the ministry, and somebody that's well known. I don't get into any names here, but he said as he was talking to the guy, he was so excited about meeting this gentleman, and the head guy or whatever was excited about meeting him because he saw some skills in this new guy that he wanted to partner with. But he also actually said, you know what? I'm excited and I'm real careful about meeting people because people will hurt you. Mm. He said, but I have a question. What's in it for me being a friend of yours? What a question. Thing about it is this. What are you offering a person when you meet them? Wow. Because it needs to be something that's in it for them too. So it's not just a one-sided deal. So one of the things now I work on every day is finding out what am I offering a new person when we develop a new relationship. Because it should be a two-sided thing. People living that way and making sure they're on point with that, they can conquer the world. Because now people know what they're getting, I know what I'm getting. It's a win-win situation. And that's how you win big in the industry. So that's a choice.
Wow.
Yeah.
You said a lot there. And lastly, you just published your well-known book. It's on Amazon.
Bestseller now, man.
Bestseller, best-selling book. Yeah. You have permission to succeed. Yeah. If you could give people just a brief synopsis of what's in that book, what would you say?
Some of the things we're talking about. Some of the things about people skills I talk about. Some of the things I talk about money. Staying the course in life. I talk about all of those things. Just becoming a better leader. I wanted a small book. I didn't want to go out and write this big book and things when 500 pages, so easy read, something a person can follow. I never thought I would be writing a book. That wasn't my thing. I love what I do within the industry of direct sales. But people kept asking me, how did I do it? And they kept saying, I heard you had a book. I'm like, I don't have a book.
Yeah, I asked you.
Yeah, I was like, what book? And so because of the things that I've done, I've always journaled my success. Because I wanted to know. Nugget. Yeah, I wanted to make sure that I was able to go back and if I had to do it all over again, I can track what took me there and also pay attention to the things that messed me up. So I journaled those things. So the good and the bad I know. And so from the journal came the book. And so I tell a person, journal your way through life. And that way you understand how you got there, what mistakes you made, and what were the good things, what were the bad things. Just pay attention to that. So pay attention in life. Most people don't even pay attention in life. They just walking aimlessly around. They don't know where the heck they're going. They don't know what they're doing. They're not paying attention. Live with a purpose. Wow. That's what you got to do.
Well, we certainly appreciate you taking some time out of your busy schedule. We just kind of dropped in on you at your mansion here in Royal Oak Country Club. But Winning is a choice. You must
Yes.
choose it. It will not choose you. I am RamonFulcher.com. We'll see you at another winning moment. Thank you, Mr. Haynes.
No problem, man.
All right.